On this week's edition of Why, we have a Minka Aire Cirque. It is a 54-inch fan, 6 blades, 3 of which are malformed. It has a little par light, little MR16, I think. Yeah, MR16. And yeah, it's round. It has, now this thing, per typical Minka practice, is made by Sheng Yuan, or Alaska. It has a big 188 by 25 millimeter cast aluminum Alaska motor within, and a 14-degree blade pitch. The blades are very wide. This thing dates to, I think, 2005? Yeah, 2005, let's just go with that. Maybe 2006. I forget. We have our little lollipop blades, and we have our big wide blades. Ooh. Now you're probably wondering, why the hell did I get this? Well, right before everything shut down, and more specifically right before Maryland and Virginia shut down because of the plague, I decided I would go habba-crap hopping because I needed my fix. Right? Because all of the PA and New Jersey stores had already shut down because the states closed all non-essential businesses. Boo hiss. Anyway, yes, so Maryland was still open. So I decided, let's go down to DC just on a whim and see what we find. I didn't find much. Got the last habba-crap of the day. This was probably the best thing there. It was $20. It was complete with everything, including its full-function wall control, which is kind of necessary if you want reverse. Okay, yeah, the fan has 3 wires, you know, thinking, oh, you can use any control. Yeah, except there's one thing. There's no reverse switch. The only way to get reverse with this kind of fan is to have its wall control with the reverse function on it. So basically, why does it have 3 wires? Well, this is a kludgy reverse system. Alright, it uses a little reverse module somewhere in the fan, right, hooked in line with the leads going to the capacitor and what have you. Alright, it has the receiver and the canopy, per usual practice, and then the control. The control's direct wire. In fact, let's go over to see it. This is the control. It has reverse. Cool. Now an off switch, which is cool, and it lights up when turned on, which, you know, makes it nice and simple. Yeah, it has an uplight function on it as well, but of course no uplight. So, whatever, who cares? So, yeah, this thing is actually still current. For whatever effed up reason, Minka Aire is still offering this thing new. And they want $524.99 as of this recording. Quite a bit. It's a funky design. Very, very funky. But anyway, let's see what this funky freaking design actually does. So let's start it on low. So I basically picked this thing up because it was heavy, price was right, and it's weird, and I like weird. And I'd always been somewhat morbidly curious of this thing in terms of performance. So when the price is right and you find absolutely nothing else of note along your trip, you gotta settle sometimes, because going 3 hours out of your way for nothing, that doesn't taste all that great. No. So sometimes you just have to settle. And this thing, it's cool. I know some people out there hate Minka, but their product isn't terrible. It's just Minka has a tendency to knock off another manufacturer's designs. It's kind of a bit of a war between the two. To me, it's fun to watch. Just grab popcorn and see what happens. But yeah, some people hate Minka. A lot of lighting stores don't carry Minka anymore because why? Because quality control and shit customer service. Okay, if your customer service sucks, okay, customers don't want to deal with you because you don't get any answers, you don't get what you need, alright? And as a result of poor reception from the customers, the stores are going to be like, nope, we are not carrying your shit anymore, so that's your fault. Let's turn the light off. A little bit of glare. Now with the tiny little malformed blades, those little lollipops, this thing flies. Frickin' flies on high. Let's go to medium. Yeah, the wall control is 3-speed, full function, with reverse, uplight, and downlight. This fan, again, doesn't have an uplight, so it's moot, but it has the provision. Now with these wide, heavy plastic blades, well really they're metal frames with plastic inserts that bolt on. Alright, it's a little slow. But the blades are also very wide, so I guess it kind of makes up for it. Although if this thing were DC, with a big DC motor, no, this thing would fly. So maybe Minka will switch to that. While I like the big Alaska motor, some designs really do need a big, more efficient DC motor to really get things moving. So, yeah, somebody needs to get on that. Now there is a little bit of a hum. And it should also be noted that the blades, they kind of whistle. It's kind of like a natural breeze through, say, pine trees or something. Okay, let's dim it. Now put it to high. That's a very, very slight wobble, but nothing overly concerning. Definitely an interesting design. And the motor is basically a ball. Now let's reverse it. Takes a little while to get up to speed. But it does move air around. Not a whole ton of air because of how wide the blades are, but it still moves air. If the RPM were higher, it would move even more. Of course, it would also be louder because, again, these blades whistle. Now, let's turn it off. Fan came with a 36-inch rod, which is not particularly useful with my ceiling height. So I had to go into my Fanimation parts stash and I found a brushed nickel rod, short, threaded on the end because this fan uses a threaded rod for whatever reason. It uses a lightly threaded rod with a cotter pin locking it in place, along with set screws. So, I guess it's the most stable of the mounting systems. It's not going to come undone no matter what you try to do. And there you have it. A Minka Aire Cirque made by Sheng Yuan / Alaska. I hope you enjoyed.